There's this moment that happens in every relationship that goes bad. It's not the moment where everything falls apart, it's the moment right before. The moment where you have a choice. You can pretend you didn't see what you saw, didn't hear what you heard, or you can face the truth. For me, that moment happened on what was supposed to be the best night of the year, our anniversary. 3 years together. I had plans. I had a ring in my pocket. Not that one, that came later. I had a future mapped out in my head. And then she said 8 words that changed everything. He needed me that night. You'd understand if you trusted me. My name is Alex, and this is the story of how I lost the woman I thought I'd marry and found something more valuable in the process, my self-respect. This is going to be long. It's going to be detailed, and some of it is going to be uncomfortable. But if you've ever been in a relationship where you felt like you were going crazy, where you questioned your own sanity, where you ignored every warning sign because you were so desperate to believe in someone, this story is for you. So, let me take you back to where it all started. I met Sarah 4 years ago. I was 28, she was 26. We both worked in the same office building downtown, different companies, but we'd see each other in the lobby, at the coffee shop on the ground floor, in the elevator. I noticed her immediately. She had this energy about her, confident, warm, always smiling at people. I'm not someone who approaches strangers easily, but one day we ended up in the elevator alone and she struck up a conversation, asked about the book I was reading. We talked for maybe 30 seconds before she got off on her floor, but it was enough. I started timing my coffee runs to match when I'd see her. Looking back, it was kind of stalkerish, but at the time it felt romantic, fate even. We ran into each other again about a week later. This time I asked for her number. She said yes without hesitation, and we went out that Friday. That first date was incredible. We went to this Italian place in the city, talked for 4 hours straight. She was funny, intelligent, ambitious. She told me about her family. She was close with her mom, complicated relationship with her dad who'd left when she was young. She worked in marketing, wanted to start her own agency someday. She loved hiking, terrible reality TV, and cooking elaborate meals she'd find on food blogs. I told her about my work as a software engineer, my close-knit group of friends from college, my obsession with vintage vinyl records. We discovered we both loved the same obscure indie band. Both had traveled to Japan and fallen in love with it. Both wanted kids someday, but not for a few years. The connection felt effortless, natural. We started dating officially after that first date. The first 6 months were amazing, that honeymoon phase where everything is exciting and new. We'd spend entire weekends together, barely leaving the apartment. We'd cook together, binge-watch shows, stay up until 3 a.m. talking about everything and nothing. My friends loved her. My mom loved her. She got along with everyone. Around month 7, she moved in with me. It made sense. Her lease was up, we were spending every night together anyway, and honestly, I wanted her there. I wanted to wake up next to her every morning. I wanted to build a life with her. And for a while, it was perfect. But there were things. Small things at first, things I told myself were nothing. She was always on her phone, and I don't mean occasionally checking social media, I mean constantly, at dinner, during movies, in bed before we went to sleep. When I'd ask who she was talking to, she'd get defensive. Just friends, Alex. God, do I need to show you every conversation? So I'd back off, because I didn't want to be that guy, the controlling, insecure boyfriend. She talked about her ex, Marcus, a lot. They dated for 2 years before me, broke up about 6 months before we met. According to her, it was mutual, amicable. They'd stayed friends. Marcus and I went to this restaurant. It was amazing. Oh, Marcus loved this show. Marcus said the funniest thing today. At first, I tried to be cool about it, mature. She was allowed to have a past. She was allowed to have male friends. But the mentions became more frequent, and then she started meeting up with him. Just coffee, just catching up. He's going through a hard time with work. I'm just being supportive. Every time I'd feel this knot in my stomach, but every time I'd push it down because she'd reassure me, "You're being paranoid. You're the one I'm with. You're the one I love." And I believed her. Or at least I wanted to believe her. Around our 1-year anniversary, I met Marcus for the first time. We all ended up at the same birthday party for a mutual friend of theirs. Sarah introduced us casually, and I shook his hand. He was not what I expected. Tall, good-looking in that effortless way some guys are. Confident, charismatic. The kind of guy who takes up space in a room without trying. I watched them interact that night. They had this easy rapport, inside jokes, a familiarity that made sense given their history, but still made me uncomfortable. At one point, I saw him touch the small of her back as he squeezed past her. She laughed at something he said, that genuine, bright laugh she usually reserved for me. When I brought it up later that night, she dismissed it. "You're reading into things. Marcus and I are friends. That's it. You need to trust me." So I tried. I really did. Year 2 of our relationship was when things started to shift. Subtly at first, then more obviously. Sarah started working late more often. She'd text she was stuck at the office, wouldn't be home until 9 or 10 p.m., sometimes later. I'd offer to bring her dinner, and she'd decline. "Too busy, babe. I'll grab something here." But when I'd check her location, and yes, I know that sounds bad, but hear me out, she wouldn't be at her office. She'd be at restaurants, bars, different parts of the city. When I'd ask about it, she'd have explanations. Client dinners, networking events, team happy hours. All reasonable, all possible, but it happened so frequently that the reasonable explanations started feeling less reasonable. The phone thing got worse. She started taking calls in other rooms, started angling her screen away from me when texting, started putting her phone face down on tables. I tried talking to her about it multiple times. "Sarah, I feel like we're not connecting lately. You're always on your phone, always working late. I miss you." "Alex, I'm building my career. I thought you understood that. I thought you supported me." And just like that, my concern became me being unsupportive. My feelings became me holding her back. This became a pattern. Anytime I brought up something that bothered me, she'd flip it, make it about my insecurity, my lack of trust, my controlling nature. I started doubting myself. Was I being too sensitive? Too needy? Maybe I was the problem. My friends started noticing changes too. We'd all hang out and Sarah would spend half the night on her phone. When I'd make plans with my friends, she'd sometimes cancel last minute. Something came up with work. But then I'd see her Instagram story later. She was out with her friends, or with Marcus. Marcus. He was becoming a more frequent presence in our lives, or rather, in her life. Marcus is going through a breakup. I'm helping him. Marcus got a new job. We're celebrating. Marcus needs advice on his apartment renovation. I asked once, point blank, "Sarah, are you still in love with Marcus?" She looked at me like I was insane. "No, Alex, I'm with you. I chose you. You need to stop being so jealous of my friendship with my ex. It's not healthy." So again, I swallowed my concerns because she made me feel crazy for having them. But the incidents kept piling up. There was the time I came home early from a work trip and she was visibly startled, closed her laptop quickly, seemed flustered. When I asked if everything was okay, she snapped at me for sneaking up on her. There was the time I picked up her phone by accident, same model as mine, both charging next to the bed, and saw a text preview from Marcus. "Last night was," before she snatched it away. "That's my phone," she said coldly. When I asked what the text was about, she said they'd gotten drinks with a group of friends, but she hadn't mentioned going out the night before. There was the time she came home at 2 a.m., said she'd been at a work event, but she smelled of cologne, men's cologne, not mine. Every time there was an explanation, a rational reason, and every time I was made to feel ridiculous for questioning her. I started pulling away emotionally, building walls, preparing myself subconsciously for what I was afraid was coming. She noticed. "You're being distant," she said one night. "You're not present anymore. What's going on?" The irony would have been funny if it wasn't so painful. We started fighting more, about stupid things, dishes in the sink, whose turn it was to buy groceries, how she folded the towels. But really, we were fighting about trust, about respect, about the fact that I felt like I was losing her and she was acting like I was imagining it. I suggested couples therapy. She refused. "We don't need therapy. You need to work on your trust issues." So I went to therapy alone. Started seeing a therapist named Dr. Chen. Best decision I made during that entire period. Dr. Chen helped me see patterns, helped me understand gaslighting, that term I'd heard but never really understood until I was living it. Helped me realize that my feelings weren't wrong or crazy, that trust goes both ways, that I deserved someone who made me feel secure, not constantly anxious. But I still wasn't ready to leave, because I loved her, because we had a life together, because leaving felt like giving up. And then our 3-year anniversary approached. Our 3-year anniversary was on a Saturday, May 12th. I'd been planning it for weeks. I made reservations at this restaurant we'd been wanting to try, this place that was impossible to get into, but I'd called in a favor through a friend. I bought tickets to a show afterward, a band we both loved. I'd planned to take her to this overlook in the city where we'd gone on our 3rd date, where you could see the whole skyline lit up at night. And I'd bought a ring. Not an engagement ring, I wasn't ready for that yet, not with how things had been, but a promise ring. White gold with a small sapphire, her birthstone. I'd planned to give it to her that night and tell her I wanted to work on us, that I wanted to get back to who we were when we first met, that I was willing to put in the work if she was. I'd taken the day off work, spent the morning cleaning the apartment, buying flowers, setting up candles for when we got home. I felt hopeful for the first time in months, like maybe this night would be a turning point. Sarah was at work. She texted that morning, "Can't wait for tonight, heart." I texted her around 2 p.m. "Reservations at 7. I'll pick you up from your office at 6:30? Perfect. Love you." At 6:15, I was getting ready. Put on the suit she liked, the one she always said made me look good. Splashed on cologne, grabbed the flowers from the counter and the small gift box with the ring. I was ready to leave when my phone rang. Sarah. "Hey babe, I'm about to head out." "Alex." Her voice sounded off, strained. "I'm so sorry. Something came up." My stomach dropped. "What do you mean, something came up?" "It's Marcus. He's in a really bad place. He called me an hour ago. He's having a crisis and I'm really worried about him." I stood in our apartment, flowers in hand, and felt everything inside me go cold. "Sarah, it's our anniversary." I know, and I'm so sorry, but he really needs me right now. He sounded terrible on the phone. I can't just ignore him." "What kind of crisis?" "I don't want to get into details. It's personal for him. But it's serious, Alex. He needs support." I tried to keep my voice calm. "Okay, where is he? Let's go together. We can check on him and then still make our reservation." Silence for a beat. He's not comfortable with that. He's embarrassed. He only wants to talk to me." "Sarah, this is our anniversary. We have plans I've been working on for weeks." "I know, and we'll celebrate tomorrow, I promise. But right now, Marcus needs me." "And I need you," I said, my voice cracking. "Today, tonight, on our anniversary." "You're being selfish," she said, and her tone shifted, became defensive. "This is exactly what I'm talking about. You never think about anyone but yourself. Marcus is in crisis, and you're worried about dinner reservations?" I felt like I'd been slapped. "I'm being selfish? Sarah, you're ditching our anniversary for your ex-boyfriend? Don't do that. Don't make this about him being my ex. He's my friend. He's a person who needs help. If you trusted me, if you loved me, you'd understand that." There it was, the same card she always played. My lack of trust, my insecurity. "How long will you be gone?" I asked quietly. "I don't know. However long it takes. Maybe a few hours." "Where are you going to be?" Another pause. "His apartment. He doesn't want to leave his place." Of course she was going to his apartment. "Sarah, I have to go, Alex. He's waiting for me. We'll talk tomorrow, okay? I love you." She hung up before I could respond. I stood there in our living room, in my suit, holding flowers and a ring box, and I felt something inside me break. But it wasn't the explosive, dramatic kind of breaking. It was quiet, definitive, like a bone that's been cracked for a while, finally snapping in two. I texted her, "Please don't do this." She responded immediately, "I have to. You'd understand if you trusted me." those words. You'd understand if you trusted me. As if trust was something I owed her, as if she'd done anything to earn it. I called my best friend, James, told him what happened. "Dude," he said, his voice a mixture of anger and sympathy, "you need to end this tonight." "She said she'd be back in a few hours." "Alex, listen to yourself. She's at her ex-boyfriend's apartment on your anniversary. There's no crisis. Even if there is, she chose him over you on the most important night of your relationship. This is done, man. You know it's done." I knew he was right. I'd known for months if I was honest with myself. But hearing someone else say it out loud made it real. "What do?" I asked. "You pack your stuff, you leave. You respect yourself enough to walk away from someone who doesn't respect you." We talked for another 20 minutes. He offered to come over, but I said no. I needed to do this alone. After we hung up, I sat on the couch for a long time. Just sat there, thinking. I thought about the last 3 years, all the times I'd ignored my gut, all the times I'd accepted explanations that didn't quite add up, all the times I prioritized her comfort over my own dignity. I thought about my future. Did I want to marry someone who made me feel like this? Someone who'd proven over and over that I wasn't her priority? Someone who'd spend our anniversary with her ex and make me feel crazy for being upset about it? No. The answer was no. Around 8 p.m., I got up, canceled the dinner reservation, canceled the show tickets, and then I started packing. I didn't pack everything, just the essentials. Clothes, toiletries, my laptop, some personal items. Things I'd need for a few weeks while I figured out my next move. I wasn't trying to make a dramatic exit. I was just done. Completely, utterly done. As I packed, I kept checking my phone. Part of me hoped she'd text, "I'm coming home. You're right. I'm sorry." But nothing. Radio silence. At 9:30 p.m., I texted her, "What time will you be home?" 10:15 p.m., she responded, "Not sure. Please don't blow up my phone. I'm trying to help Marcus through something." That "please don't blow up my phone" after one text, as if I was being unreasonable. I texted back, "Take your time." By 11 p.m., I was packed, 2 suitcases and a duffel bag. I'd called James, who said he could stay with him and his girlfriend for as long as I needed. I looked around our apartment. 3 years of memories. Photos on the walls, her jacket on the hook by the door, the coffee mug she used every morning still in the sink. I felt sad, but I also felt something else. Relief, like a weight was lifting. I thought about the ring, sitting in its box on the kitchen counter. I picked it up, opened it, looked at it under the light. This ring represented hope, a future, a promise, but I couldn't give it to someone who wouldn't value it. I made a decision. I set the ring on the kitchen counter, right in the middle where she couldn't miss it. I left the box open. I wanted her to see it, to understand what she'd thrown away. But I didn't leave a note. What was there to say that hadn't already been said? At 11:45 p.m., I loaded my bags into my car. At 11:52 p.m., I heard her car pull into the parking lot. I could have left. I had time. But something made me wait. I stood in the living room, bags by the door, and I waited. I heard her footsteps in the hallway, her keys in the lock, the door opening. She walked in, saw me standing there with the packed bags, and froze. "Alex? What's going on?" She looked tired. Her makeup was smudged. I didn't pack everything, just the essentials. Clothes, toiletries, my laptop, some personal items. Things I'd need for a few weeks while I figured out my next move. I wasn't trying to make a dramatic exit. I was just done. Completely, utterly done. As I packed, I kept checking my phone. Part of me hoped she'd text, "I'm coming home. You're right. I'm sorry." But nothing. Radio silence. At 9:30 p.m., I texted her, "What time will you be home?" 10:15 p.m., she responded, "Not sure. Please don't blow up my phone. I'm trying to help Marcus through something." That "please don't blow up my phone" after one text, as if I was being unreasonable. I texted back, "Take your time." By 11 p.m., I was packed, 2 suitcases and a duffel bag.
I'd called James, who said he could stay with him and his girlfriend for as long as I needed. I looked around our apartment. 3 years of memories. Photos on the walls, her jacket on the hook by the door, the coffee mug she used every morning still in the sink. I felt sad, but I also felt something else. Relief, like a weight was lifting. I thought about the ring, sitting in its box on the kitchen counter. I picked it up, opened it, looked at it under the light. This ring represented hope, a future, a promise, but I couldn't give it to someone who wouldn't value it. I made a decision. I set the ring on the kitchen counter, right in the middle where she couldn't miss it. I left the box open. I wanted her to see it, to understand what she'd thrown away. But I didn't leave a note. What was there to say that hadn't already been said? At 11:45 p.m., I loaded my bags into my car. At 11:52 p.m., I heard her car pull into the parking lot. I could have left. I had time. But something made me wait. I stood in the living room, bags by the door, and I waited. I heard her footsteps in the hallway, her keys in the lock, the door opening. She walked in, saw me standing there with the packed bags, and froze. "Alex? What's going on?" She looked tired. Her makeup was smudged, her hair was messy. She looked like someone who'd spent hours being comforted, being held, being chosen. "I'm leaving," I said simply. "What? Why? What happened?" The audacity of that question almost made me laugh. "Where were you tonight, Sarah?" "I told you, Marcus's place. He was having a crisis." "On our anniversary." "Yes, on our anniversary. I'm sorry about that, but it was important." "More important than us?" She sighed, dropping her purse on the couch. "Don't do this. Don't make this about us versus him. I was helping a friend." "Were you?" I asked, my voice steady. "Were you helping a friend, or were you with the person you actually want to be with?" "That's not fair." "You're right. It's not fair. None of this has been fair. You spent 3 years making me feel crazy for noticing what was right in front of my face, making me question my own reality, choosing him over and over while expecting me to just accept it. I didn't choose him. You did. Tonight, you chose him, on our anniversary, and that tells me everything I need to know." She saw the ring then, sitting on the counter, box open, light catching the sapphire. She walked over to it, picked it up, looked at it, looked at me. "You were going to..." "Yeah, I was going to give you a promise ring, tell you I wanted to work on us, recommit to our relationship." Tears started rolling down her face. "Alex, but I can't promise myself to someone who wouldn't choose me, who doesn't respect me, who treats our relationship like it's secondary to whatever else is going on in her life." "Nothing happened with Marcus," she said, her voice breaking. "I swear, we just talked. He was upset about his dad." "I don't care." And I meant it. I genuinely didn't care whether they slept together, kissed, or just talked. It doesn't matter what you did or didn't do physically. You chose to be with him instead of me on the most important night of the year for us. You chose his emotional needs over mine. That's the betrayal, Sarah, not whether you hooked up with him. She was crying harder now. "Please don't leave. We can work through this. I'll cut contact with Marcus. I'll do whatever you want." "I don't want you to do what I want. I want you to want to prioritize us. And you don't. You haven't for a long time." "That's not true." "Sarah," I said her name firmly. "Look at me." She did. "Be honest, right now. Are you still in love with Marcus?" I saw it in her eyes before she spoke. The answer. I don't know," she whispered. And there it was, finally, the truth. I nodded slowly. "Thank you for finally being honest." I picked up my bags. "Alex, please, don't leave like this. Let's talk about this." "There's nothing left to talk about. You don't know if you're in love with your ex. I'm not going to wait around while you figure it out." I walked to the door. "Where will you go?" she asked, her voice small. "James's place. I'll come back for the rest of my stuff next week when you're at work." "What about us?" I paused, hand on the doorknob, turned back to look at her one last time. "There is no us, Sarah. There hasn't been for a while. We've both just been too scared to admit it." "I love you," she said desperately. "Maybe you do, but not enough. And I deserve someone who loves me enough." I opened the door. "The ring!" She held it out toward me. "Take it back." "Keep it, or sell it, or throw it away. I don't care what you do with it, but I wanted you to see it. I wanted you to know what you lost tonight." And I walked out. I heard her crying as I walked down the hallway, heard her call my name once, but I didn't look back. I got in my car, started the engine, and drove away from the apartment, from her, from 3 years of my life. And I didn't cry. Not then.
The first week at James's place was strange. I'd wake up disoriented, forgetting for a split second where I was. Then it would all come rushing back. Sarah tried to contact me constantly. Texts, calls, emails. I didn't respond to any of them. She left voicemails crying, apologizing, begging me to talk to her, saying she'd made a mistake, that she chose me, that she'd cut Marcus out of her life completely. After 5 days of this, I finally texted back, "I need space. Please stop contacting me." She didn't stop, so I blocked her number. My friends rallied around me. James and his girlfriend Melissa were incredible. They gave me space when I needed it, company when I didn't want to be alone. They never once said, "I told you so," even though they'd all seen this coming from miles away. I threw myself into work, stayed late at the office, took on extra projects, anything to keep my mind occupied. But at night, alone in James's guest room, I'd lie awake and think about everything. All the signs I'd ignored, all the times I'd chosen to believe her over my own instincts. 2 weeks after I left, I finally unblocked Sarah to retrieve some texts I needed for our apartment lease situation. That's when I saw she'd sent me over 50 messages. Most were apologies, promises to change, declarations of love, but there were some that were angry, blaming me for abandoning her, for being cold and heartless, for not giving her a chance to explain. And then, buried in there was this: "Marcus and I are together now. I guess you were right to be insecure, but it's your fault for pushing me away. If you'd trusted me, if you'd been more supportive, maybe I wouldn't have needed him." I stared at that message for a long time. She'd confirmed it. Everything I'd felt, everything I'd questioned, I'd been right all along. But instead of feeling vindicated, I felt nothing. No anger, no hurt, just a sense of confirmation. I showed James the message. "Dude," he said, shaking his head, "she's literally blaming you for her cheating. That's textbook manipulation." "I know," I said, and I did know. Dr. Chen had prepared me for this, the blame shifting, the inability to take accountability. I blocked her again, for good this time. Through mutual friends, I found out more. Sarah and Marcus had apparently been on and off the entire time she and I were together. The crises he kept having were excuses for her to see him. The night of our anniversary, they'd slept together. She'd finally admitted it to a friend who told another friend who told me. Part of me wanted to confront her, to tell her I knew, to make her face what she'd done. But Dr. Chen talked me out of it. "What would you get from that confrontation?" she asked. "Would it change anything? Would it give you closure?" The answer was no. I already had closure. I'd given myself closure the night I walked out. I started rebuilding. I found my own apartment, a 1-bedroom in a neighborhood I'd always loved. I decorated it exactly how I wanted, no compromises. I reconnected with hobbies I'd neglected, started going to the gym again, picked up my guitar that had been collecting dust, started reading again, something Sarah always said was boring. I went on some dates, nothing serious, just coffee or drinks, putting myself back out there. Some were nice, some were awkward, but all of them reminded me that there were other people in the world, other possibilities. About 3 months after I left, I ran into Sarah in a bookstore. She saw me first. I watched her decision process in real time, whether to approach me or pretend she hadn't seen me. She approached. "Alex, hi." "Hi, Sarah."
It was strange seeing her. She looked different, smaller somehow, or maybe I was just seeing her clearly for the first time. "How are you?" she asked. "Good, really good, actually." That's good." Awkward silence. "I've been wanting to talk to you." "I don't think that's a good idea." "I just want to apologize, really apologize. I handled everything so badly." "Sarah," I interrupted gently, "I appreciate that, but I don't need your apology. What's done is done. I just want you to know that Marcus and I aren't together anymore. We tried, but it didn't work, and I realized what I lost." There was a time when hearing that would have meant everything to me, when I would have considered taking her back, trying again. But standing there in that bookstore, I felt nothing. No desire to reconcile, no satisfaction in her regret, just indifference. "I hope you figure out what you're looking for," I said, sincerely, "but it's not going to be with me." "Do you hate me?" she asked, tears in her eyes. "No," I said, honestly, "I don't hate you. I don't really feel anything about you anymore. And that's how I know I made the right choice." We said goodbye. I watched her leave, and then I bought my book and went home. That night, I sat on my balcony, glass of wine in hand, and thought about everything that had happened. I thought about the Alex from a year ago, the one who was so desperate to make it work that he ignored his own needs, the one who accepted crumbs of attention and called it love. And I thought about who I was now, someone who knew his worth, someone who wouldn't settle for being someone's second choice, someone who chose himself.
So, here I am, 8 months later, single, living alone, building a life that's entirely mine. Do I miss her sometimes? Honestly, no. I miss the idea of her, the version of her I thought she was. But the real Sarah, the one who lied and manipulated and chose someone else, I don't miss her at all. What I learned from this experience is that trust isn't just about believing someone won't cheat. It's about believing they'll choose you, prioritize you, respect you enough to be honest, even when the truth is hard. Sarah didn't cheat on me that night, at least not technically, but she'd been betraying me emotionally for months, maybe longer, and that's just as damaging. Walking out that night was the hardest thing I've ever done, but it was also the most important thing I've ever done for myself. Because here's what I know now. You teach people how to treat you, and I was teaching Sarah that it was okay to treat me as an option, as a backup plan, as someone whose needs didn't matter as much as hers. The moment I walked out, I took my power back. If you're in a relationship where you constantly feel anxious, where you're always questioning your reality, where you feel like you're going crazy, trust that feeling. Your gut knows. Your instincts are telling you something. And if your partner's response to your concerns is always to make you feel like the problem, to accuse you of being insecure or controlling or jealous, that's a red flag the size of Texas. You deserve someone who makes you feel secure, someone who chooses you without hesitation, someone who, when faced with a choice between you and someone else on your anniversary, chooses you every single time. I'm dating someone new now. Her name's Rachel. We've been seeing each other for about 2 months. It's casual, we're taking it slow. But you know what? She answers my texts. She makes time for me. She introduces me to her friends. She doesn't make me feel crazy for having feelings. And that's not because she's extraordinary. It's because she's a baseline, decent human being. That's literally the bare minimum, but after Sarah, it feels revolutionary. I'm not saying I'm completely healed. Therapy's ongoing. Some days are harder than others. I still have trust issues I'm working through. I still sometimes catch myself looking for red flags that aren't there. But I'm better. So much better than I was. And I'm grateful for that night. As much as it hurt, as humiliating as it felt to pack my bags and leave, it freed me. It forced me to choose myself for the first time in years. So to anyone watching this who's in a similar situation, you deserve better. You deserve someone who doesn't make you question your sanity, someone who doesn't have you competing with their ex for attention, someone who shows up for you, especially on the important days. And if they're not giving you that, walk away.
Pack your bags. Let them see what they lost, and don't look back. Your self-respect is worth more than any relationship. Trust me on that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my story. If it helped even one person recognize their own worth and make a difficult choice, then it was worth sharing. Take care of yourselves. Know your worth, and don't settle for being anyone's second choice.